Hi everybody, welcome back to your first activity in virtual learning. So this video is supposed to help you with the warm-up form that is posted on your Teams account. And so every video that's posted should help you with the form that it's posted with. So today we are going to go over the 7.1 warm-up. And so again, just to review, we're going to be talking about monomials. And remember, the part of the word mon means one, and the other part of the word nomial means number. So together, monomial just means one term, and that's usually meant that there are numbers or variables being multiplied together. So up until this point, we've done mostly simplifying expressions, which means we're performing operations, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, to put values into their simplest or most condensed form. So basically this means combining like terms, right? That's what we're used to. But the warm-up is asking you to expand expressions. So what does it mean to expand expressions? That means breaking it into its smallest prime factors while performing the same operations. So this is similar to when we did radical expressions, how we would break it apart. And we're going to do a couple examples together right now just to help you do that warm up. So the first one is 3x squared y to the fourth z. And so whenever you have numbers and variables all next to each other like that, with no operations defined, that means that they're being multiplied. So to expand this, all that means is that we actually write out every term that's being multiplied to have the answer be 3x squared y to the fourth, because this is our simplified form. So how do we expand it? What's actually going on is we have a 3 times an x times an x, right? Because there's x squared, which means that it's x being multiplied by itself twice, right? Or there's two x's being multiplied together. So it's x times x. Same rule applies with y, 4 y's. Being multiplied by 1z. And so that would be how we expand 3x squared y to the fourth z. So now let's try another one. So now this one is 32. So 32 by itself is not its smallest prime factor. Last one that we did, it was just 3, right? And 3 times 1 is 3. It's a prime factor. There's no other numbers that multiply together to get 3. So for 32, that's not the case. So we have to break this up into its prime factors for us to be able to fully expand this. And remember, you can always just choose the smallest prime factor first, and we'll say that's 2, right? So it goes into 32 times 16. You can use your calculator for this, either on your cell phone if you have a calculator, or on the computer calculator app. You could just do 32 divided by 2, and it will give you the other factor. So now 16 is not prime, and so if we do 2 again, 16 divided by 2 is 8, and again, 8 divided by 2 is 4, and then again, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So if we wanted to fully break this up and expand it, that is, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's, okay? So that means that we would write 2 times 2, get the point, right? 5 2's, and then we have 3 q's, 2 r's, and I picked a long one And so we're going to be multiplying this whole thing on top by these 5 s's. I just can't fit it all in the same line. So multiplied by 5 s's. Okay, so just remember, if there's an exponent, and sorry, that last s kind of looks like a 5, but it's an s. The exponent is describing how many times we are using that number in multiplication. So if it's q to the 3, that means that we are using q 3 times when we're multiplying. So that's why we wrote 3 q's, 2 r's, and 5 s's, because that is those are the exponents on each of those variables. Okay, so now I believe we have one more example. So now we have 3, 2, an exponent. And so like we just said, exponents are how many times that specific number is being used in multiplication. So to break this up, it's 3 to the 3. So that means that 3 is being used in multiplication how many times? 3 times. So 3 times 3 times 3. And now we go to our variables. How many times is x being used? 2 times. So it's going to be, and then y. Okay, so I believe those examples should be enough to help you get through the warm-up. But of course, if you have any additional questions, feel free to call into the office hour window or email or post a message in Teams or whatever. So hope that helps, and let us know if you have any questions.